All right, today we're going to unlock what I call the God mode stack for AI video creators. Look, if you're into explainers like this that just cut right to the chase, do me a favor and smash that subscribe button for @BrainTech Auth right now. Trust me, you are not going to want to miss what we have lined up.
Okay, let me ask you something. Does your video workflow ever feel, well, like a golden cage? I mean, you've got these incredible, super user-friendly editors, right? But you always hit a wall. You're stuck inside their little box, and every big idea you have just gets bogged down in this endless cycle of manual work. You know the drill. Clicking, dragging, aligning, again and again and again. It feels like you're getting stuff done, but honestly, it's a total trap.
So, here's the thing. This is the big idea. It's time for a fundamental shift in how we think. We have got to stop just editing videos and start building them. This is all about changing your entire creative process from, this manual, hands-on craft into a fully automated, scalable machine. So yeah, let's just call it what it is, the creator's golden cage. And look, even the best editors out there, the ones that feel so slick and intuitive, at their core, they're super restrictive. They're built for you to make one video at a time. They're not built for automation. They're not built for creating thousands of personalized videos at scale. You are literally trapped by the user interface they decide to give you. Okay, so let's really dig into this frustration, right? Just think about all the hours you've wasted on these mind-numbing manual tasks. Placing subtitles, nudging the timing just right, making sure the brand colors are perfect every single time. There's basically no real automation. You can't just give it a spreadsheet of 100 names and say, go make me 100 personalized videos. It's impossible. So your creativity is totally boxed in. And maybe the worst part, especially if you come from a dev background, no version control. I'm talking no Git, no pull requests, just that dreaded folder on your desktop filled with final_video_v2_final_final.mp4. We've all been there.
All right, enough complaining. Let's break out of that cage. This is where we get to what I call the God mode stack. It's a totally new way of thinking where we start treating video as code. And we're going to do it using two incredibly powerful open source tools that literally turn the entire video creation process into a developer's dream playground.
I mean, just look at the shift in thinking on this slide. We are moving from that manual click-and-drag world to a fully automated code-based one. We're going from restrictive to completely limitless. And instead of grinding out these one-off projects that are a nightmare to scale, we're now building a library of reusable parts, components, that can spit out endless variations. This isn't just an improvement, it's a total game changer. So what exactly is this magic stack? Well, it's pretty simple, actually. It's the combination of two amazing tools. First, OpenAI's Whisper, which handles everything related to audio, and second, Remotion, which lets you build and render videos using the web tech you probably already know and love, like React. Put them together, and you've got this beautiful automated pipeline that takes you from a raw audio file all the way to a finished MP4. All right, let's get into the nitty-gritty, starting with the first piece of this puzzle, Whisper. Now, when most people hear Whisper, they immediately think, oh, that transcription tool. And they're not wrong, but that is a tiny, tiny piece of the picture. The truth is, Whisper is a generative engine for your audio. And really getting that's the key that unlocks everything. So, let's ask the question again. What is Whisper? Really? What makes it so different from every other automatic speech recognition system, ASR, that we've seen before? Well, the secret is all in how it thinks about sound. And this slide really gets to the heart of it. Your traditional ASR system, it's like a clunky old factory assembly line. It takes the audio, smashes it into these tiny little pieces called phonemes, and then tries its best to glue them back together into words. Whisper? It just throws that whole assembly line right in the trash. It's one single end-to-end model that works with something called tokens, which is way more like how you'd interact with an LLM, like GPT. So, think less like sorting Lego bricks by color and more like giving a creative prompt to a brilliant AI. So what the heck are these phonemes I'm talking about? Basically, they're the tiniest, most basic building blocks of sound, like the hard cuss sound in cat versus the buzz sound in bat. The old way of doing things meant the system had to perfectly identify this rigid sequence of sound breaks first before it could even try to guess the word. As you can imagine, it's a super fragile and brittle process. But Whisper is totally different. It uses tokens. And here's the crucial part. Tokens aren't units of sound. They are commands. They're special instructions that you, the creator, give to the AI model to tell it exactly what to do with the audio file. And that right there, that gives you an insane amount of flexibility and control over what comes out the other side.
And check this out. This is where the real magic of tokens becomes crystal clear. Say you feed it an audio file in Italian. You give it the transcribe token, and boom, you get Italian text. But here's the wild part. You change one single word, one token, from transcribe to translate, and now, from that exact same audio file, you get a perfect English translation. Don't want timestamps? Guess what? There's a token for that too. You see, you're not just using a tool anymore, you are directing a powerful generative AI.
Okay, so that's Whisper. Now let's talk about the other half of our God mode stack, Remotion. This is how we take all that amazing data from Whisper and turn it into an actual video. Think of Remotion as the rendering engine. It takes your data, like that perfectly timed text from Whisper, and turns it into a beautiful, high-quality MP4 file. And the best part? It does it all using React.
Honestly, the community came up with the perfect tagline for it. It's just React, but for video. And that means if you already know how to build a web app with React, guess what? You already have like 90% of the skills you need to start making incredibly complex, data-driven, and slickly animated videos with Remotion today.
And because it's just React, you unlock the entire power of the web development ecosystem. Want a custom font from Google Fonts? Easy. It's just CSS. Need to animate your company's sharp vector SVG logo? No problem. Feeling a little crazy? You can pull in WebGL and 3.js for insane 3D effects. You can literally fetch live data from any API on the internet and render it right into your video in real time. The amount of creative freedom you get is it's staggering. It's on a whole different level.
And when you start treating your videos like a code base, you get all the amazing professional benefits that come with modern software development. I mean, you can use Git to track every tiny change you make. Your team can actually review visual changes in a pull request. How cool is that? You can build up your own library of reusable scenes and branded components, so you never have to build that lower third twice. And you can even set up CI/CD pipelines to automatically kick off a new video render anytime a piece of data changes. It's incredible. Okay, so this all sounds great in theory, but what does it actually look like in practice? How do we glue Whisper and Remotion together to make one of these automated workflows? Well, it's actually a lot more straightforward than you might think. We can break the whole thing down into about 6 main steps.
So let's walk through it real quick. Step 1, you kick things off with a Remotion template. Step 2, you configure Whisper. Choose your model, your language, whatever you need. Step 3, you run a simple script that feeds your audio to Whisper and it spits back a data file with every single word timed out to the millisecond. Step 4, if you want, you can use one of those nifty tokens to translate it. Then step 5, the really fun part, you start coding your video in React, tweaking things with a live preview right in your browser. And when you're happy with it, step 6, one single command in your terminal and it renders out your final polished MP4. That's it.
And that, right there, is the ultimate payoff. You've finally escaped that golden cage we talked about. All those hours of boring, repetitive manual work? Gone. Automated away. You've now built a system that can scale up to generate hundreds, even thousands of personalized videos from a simple data source. You have the creative power to build things that are literally impossible in a traditional drag-and-drop editor. And you can lock down your personal brand with absolute precision, making sure every single video is 100% consistent every time. So, I'm just going to leave you with this one final question to chew on. Once you make that mental switch from editing to building, you open up an entire universe of new possibilities. So ask yourself, if your videos were just code, infinitely flexible, totally scalable, and connected to any data you can imagine, what amazing things would you build?